Okay, y'all. If today's sister chat is not an episode of Maury, I don't know what is. What's up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of What's That?
Sister chat.
Okay, y'all. So I want to get right into it, right? So y'all know that Memorial Day is coming up. And y'all know that families are going to be getting together and having mini reunions and all kinds of stuff, right? So y'all already know that it's bound to be some family drama to come up as well. So let's go ahead and start off this drama early, okay, y'all? So this week, Future's son, baby Future, had a birthday. He turned 6 years old. So first of all, happy birthday, little king. I hope that it was amazing and that you had many blessings. Okay.
Word.
But, y'all, the internet went crazy because his stepfather, Russell Wilson, who is married to his mother, Sierra, wished baby Future a happy birthday. And with his wishes, he said the words, "Daddy loves you." Right? So the internet went crazy because they're saying, well, can Russell actually call himself daddy? And like, I see y'all faces. Can Russell actually call himself daddy? And like, okay, all of this. So I want to hear you guys' opinion on this topic. Do y'all want me to read the whole like post, like the whole tweet or Instagram post or whatever?
Go ahead in case somebody doesn't know what we're talking about. What did the post say, Sheree?
Okay. So Russell's post. Well, first of all, let me start with Future's post because Future posted first. He said, "Happy birthday, Future. I love you forever, twin." So Future kept it real short and sweet. He did a little tweet. "Happy birthday, Future. Love you forever, twin." Okay. So then Russell Wilson came on and he posted a video and he also wrote in the caption, "My inspiration, my best friend, full of love, joy, and grace. I thank Jesus for you and being able to lead and guide you. Your future is forever endless. Daddy loves you." So, what do you guys think about this? Cece.
We're starting
Because you made the most faces in that moment.
I'm making faces because I went back and I looked at some of the Twitter comments, and I'm not gonna lie, I just thought it was kind of ridiculous. Look, the man who raised me, whose house I lived in all my life, I called him daddy. And baby Future, little Future has been in a house with Russell and Sierra for most of his life. I mean, he knows Russell as daddy. And I don't see anything wrong with that. Like, I understand that there are family dynamics and Future's his biological father and he's in his life. But the man that's raising you every single day, the man that's taking care of you every day while you're sick, the man who is there for you, the man who leaves that kind of inspiring post is daddy. And if he's saying daddy loves you, my assumption, and I don't know, I don't live in their house, but my assumption is that Future probably calls it baby Future, I guess, to keep it clear, probably calls him daddy. So if that's the dynamics in their household, I'm not mad at it. And I think people being mad at it is really, really strange because kids need their fathers. Kids need father figures. And if this man has stepped up and is raising him without a step, right, as just son, as just daddy, I'm here for it personally.
Word. Shelly?
I agree with Cece. That baby been living with them from the beginning. Future, I don't even know his relationship with his son. If he gets to see his son, if they interact on a weekend basis, daily basis, however, like Russell has been there from pretty much since the child was born. So I don't see any issue with him calling him daddy. What they say, some people are sperm donors and some people are daddy. Russell Russell Wilson, I'm not trying to be messy. I'm just saying. He had to care for him. I'm not trying to be messy. I'm just trying to speak truth. If I was raising this child, I wouldn't like, I mean, I'm sure if baby future knows that he's not his real biological father, but he's his father figure. Man, I think it's a whole bunch of baloney. Twitter need to sit down somewhere.
Okay, y'all heard it here first. Twitter, y'all need to sit down. But okay, I think you do make a good point, because just for people who don't know, Future and Sierra were engaged before. Okay, Future and Sierra were engaged back in 2016, and then Russell and Sierra ended up getting married in 2018. So baby Future is 6 years old, and obviously this means that he has been his life for a very long time. So with that being
Since he was 10 months.
With that being said, so Shanika, I would love to hear your thoughts on this, especially being that we see that you have a little baby right there in your hand. So tell us about what you think about this topic.
Okay, I don't get why people are so mad that Russell Wilson has stepped up to the plate, and he is in this baby's life, and he is doing a great job. Seems like, I don't know, and it'll be different if he came into baby Future's life when he was like 16 and he's calling him daddy. That's kind of, different. But like you said, he is basically growing up with this guy, and he's calling him daddy, and there's absolutely nothing wrong. He has two dads, and I mean, not in that way, but he got two dads, and that's okay. Like, people are weird.
Okay. Okay, would you be okay with? Say this was your ex now. Would you be okay with your ex's new woman calling themselves mommy to your kids, to your two kids?
Okay, now if the timeline is like their timeline, and that's cool with me. Go to your other mama. This mama need a break. You know what I mean? It's all good as long as they're treating the kids how they're supposed to be treating the kids and loving them. It really doesn't matter, because it's a title. It's just a little title. It's just a little. I mean, it's a big title, but it's okay.
Okay. Okay, Shelly, what do you think? Would you be okay with your ex's new lady calling herself mommy to your kids?
It all depends on the relationship that my child has with that person. Now, like Shanika said, if my child was 16 years old and you trying to be their mommy, you ain't been in their child life that long. But seeing that, if she was in his life or her life, from the very beginning or early on, I wouldn't have a problem with it. My child would know who I was. And that's the thing, we don't know what baby Future knows about his real dad. I don't know their dynamics. I don't know their relationship. I know Future got a bunch of kids. I don't know his relationship with any of his children. So, I mean, it just depends on the relationship that the person has with that child. If that child feels like, this person is my dad, even though he's not biologically mine, I mean, I don't see the big deal. The more love this child has, the better. And as long as their relationship is strong, I don't see a big deal. He gonna be in his life forever anyway. He married to his mama. I don't see the big deal.
Okay. All right. What about you, Cece?
I like what Rochelle said just now. He's married to his mom. Not only that, like, he has siblings, right? Like, it's like a whole family. So it's really weird to me. In terms of my own situation, obviously I don't have kids and I don't share my cat with anybody, right? Boris is just me and Jason. But if we were in an imaginary situation and I had a kid and we had some sort of dynamic and there was another woman figure in the life, then we would decide what that title needs to be. And if she's mommy to him too, then that's cool. You know, I think that too many people spend too much time getting worked up about things that shouldn't matter. And I just don't see any reason to be worked up about it in this particular situation.
I think that I mean, obviously, y'all know people don't got nothing to do right now. So they trying to find anything to blow out of proportion or whatever. But I I really like what Shanika said. Like, you know, it's just a title. And to be honest, and I like what all of you guys said, actually. I agree with all of you. I don't think I would care that much actually either. I'd just be like, whatever. But I know that there are a lot of families as well that have like different names or titles for the different people in their family. So, you know, you might be mommy and the other one might be ma, and then you might be mama, and then you might be Mima, and then you might be Momo, and it just keeps going on and on and on. So, you know, like we don't know what they're doing in their family and in their life, but it's your family. You do what you got to do for you and whatever's gonna make y'all happy. Yeah, go ahead, Shelly. Say what you gotta say, girl. Speak your heart.
I mean, it all boils down to, is this person that I am with, are they gonna be in my life for a long time? They've already been together for I don't know how many years. So he's been committed to Sierra. Russell has been committed to Sierra. Now I can understand if they was just dating, they had no kind of commitment, then no, you don't need to be calling my child. My child's not calling you daddy. But they've been married, they have their own family that they're building and growing to. I don't see the point. I don't see the problem with it. But it really depends on the relationship with the parents too. I mean,
now, okay.
If I'm just dating you, my child's not gonna call you daddy.
Well, but that happens a lot too. But I think that's a whole nother
You can't be coming in and
out
out.
episode. I really think we need to bring Maury on this episode, y'all. Y'all understand? Because, and I say that because we talked about a little bit, we mentioned it about how many baby mamas Future actually has. So he has a ton of women who he has planted his seed in and then had children with. You know, he's very fertile, and so appears to be, at least. I mean, I'm just saying. But so Future, y'all know Future was recently in like a whole, I won't say drama, but like, again, another online Instagram, like Twitter fiasco, because on Mother's Day, which was only like 2 weeks ago or a week ago, he wished 6 of his baby mamas Happy Mother's Day in separate tweets. And he actually, I mean, I think he did a very good job. Like, you know, he talked about things about each mother, talked about different, you know, like, I'm not mad at it, but a lot of people on the Instagram and on the internet, on Twitter and everywhere else, Facebook, were upset by this. They were like, what he doing? What do you guys think? What it's funny to me because I'm like, y'all really on this man. Why y'all on this man like this? But anyways, Shelly.
People need to get a life. I mean, there's so much more going on right now in the world to be worried about what Future doing on Twitter. So he wished his baby mamas. Oh, I think he skipped one baby mama. He didn't wish all of them, 2 of them. I mean, maybe he forgot. Maybe he remembers. I mean, that's why baby mamas. I'm just saying.
Or maybe, you know, that's just not their relationship. That's not their dynamic.
But I mean, I don't see the big deal. It's Twitter. It is Twitter. It's social media. It's not real life. Like, come on, people. Get a life. There's so much more going on right now in the world that you can be focused on.
You're right.
Than what Future is doing on Twitter.
Well, I'll say this. I did think that it was interesting that 2 of the alleged baby mamas was left out. That's that's interesting, you know. Now, I don't know where the status of all of the paternity situations are with these other two women. I know at least one, I believe they've established paternity, but it sounds like if he didn't include her, there might be some drama there. But I mean, it was Mother's Day, and what I will say about the tweets that I saw was that I thought that he did a really good job of saying, thank you, you know, Sierra, you're doing such a great job with raising this baby, and thank you, so-and-so, you're doing a great job with raising this baby, and all of those things. And so I think it's great that he was really thoughtful. One thing that I did see online is that Future has said publicly that because of his work, he doesn't get to spend as much time with his kids as he would like. So I understand that it's probably more important than ever for him to acknowledge the work that the women in his lives are doing to raise his children. So I respect that. I honestly, I don't know enough about Future and his baby mama drama to really understand why it was such a big deal. But obviously some people were not okay with all of that. So
Go ahead, Shanika. I see you.
Look, he did a good job. Like, whatever. I'm trying to be one of his baby mamas too, because did y'all see that the latest baby mama is getting $53,000 a month for child support? Look, I could have one of his kids. I'm cool with it.
Okay, well, Future, if you're listening.
No, I'm just kidding. JK.
Oh.
But shoot, I think he did a good job, even though he didn't remember two of them or whatever happened. It's just a little shout out, a little Instagram.
Right, or maybe his thumbs got tired. Like, I mean,
like I did 6.
Listen, okay. And here's the other thing. I was really super impressed by him. No, I was really super impressed by him because he remembered which child went with which baby mama. So, and I think that I'm serious. I'm serious. Y'all know, even for us, like always growing up, mommy always used to be confusing our names, like Roshan, Cherie, Shanika. So like now you got to remember all your kids' names, and you got to remember all, like mommy had it easy because she only had one baby daddy. So it's like real easy for her. But like, how you gonna remember all of those different women's names plus all of your kids' names? So I congratulate you, Future. I'm happy for you. Very good. Okay. Well, switching gears a little bit, not really, because we still talk about the family drama, but y'all know this week it came out allegedly that Jay-Z has an older daughter. And I ain't talking about no 10-year, 11-year-old little baby. We're talking a 28-year-old grown woman who is alleging that Jay-Z is her father. So there's a young lady named Letitia Macer, and she is saying that her mother, Lisa, had relations with Jay-Z back in the day, and that everybody in her town knows that Jay-Z is in fact her father. So this young lady took a DNA test. Well, actually, she took an ancestry test. Let me be clear. It was an ancestry test. And the ancestry test came back saying that there was some sort of relationship between Letitia and Jay-Z's grandmother. So she has said, well, hello, everybody, this is proof. I've been telling y'all my whole life, I told y'all that I'm Jay-Z's daughter. And she went so far as to create an Instagram profile at Jay-Z's first daughter, for those of you who would like to go look at that. But she created an Instagram profile, and she, actually posted a video up there saying like, I knew this all my life. And like, she's doing a lot. I'll read y'all the caption that she wrote. Let me tell y'all. So on her caption, she said, well, first of all, in the video, she said, he knows that I exist. First of all, then in her caption, She wrote, I've been quiet for far too long. At Jay-Z's first daughter. Join me as I tell you my story of living in the shadows of being Jay-Z's daughter in a city where everyone knew he was my father. How growing up, I watched multiple sclerosis take its toll on my mom, taking my fun mom that I've always known to 24-hour bedridden. But I kept it all together, raising 4 kids, including a set of twins, while going to school full time, working 2 jobs at the prison and hospital. And so she posted this on Instagram. And of course, you guys know Instagram ate it up. And she has been getting a lot of attention about this now. So there's a couple layers to this. So I just want to, first of all, find out what are y'all initial thoughts on this topic? Like, just when you heard this, what was your gut reaction? That's what I want to know. Any one of you.
Okay, so I'm here for it. Okay, I'm so here for the tea and the drama because we don't hear nothing from Beyonce and Jay-Z. Well, it's not a Beyonce situation, but I guess it is. But it's nice to hear something, and it's someone else's story. It's someone else's story, so she has control of the narrative right now. So it's nice. Well, I guess it's not nice. Anyway, it's good to see some. Look, I'm here for the tea, okay? And people have passed, and it's okay to have a daughter. Before he was with Beyonce, like, okay, that's cool. I don't see anything wrong with it, and I hope that this ends with them coming together in some type of way in the media. I don't think it'll happen though, because it's Jay-Z. They're very private. But I'm here for it. That's all I got to say. All right, Chantel, CC, you look like you.
Shelly got something to say. Shelly got something hardcore to say.
So I just want to say this isn't the first child to claim that they are Jay-Z's child. There was another one, a boy, and then I think there's 2 other kids besides Letitia. Is that her name? My thing is, it like Shanika said, it's okay to have a past. Take the DNA test, make her sign some paperwork saying she can't talk about it if you want to keep a hush hush. Because I know you want to keep Beyonce's whole reputation as the goody 2 shoes. Like, I'm sorry, Beehive, don't come for me. But I really feel that he's not acknowledging it because they want to keep their whole power couple relationship like they are like, I don't know, like they're a power couple, so they're trying to keep it like hush hush. This girl looked like him, and I know you can't go by looks. Look like him. I mean, take the test. It's okay. Take the test. Like I said, make her sign some paperwork saying she can't talk about it ever, can't release no books. Just, I know she probably thinks she's trying to come for money. Make her sign paperwork. If all she wants is to be recognized as his daughter, let her have that. I mean, she don't have her mom anymore. Like, come on. People have a past. It's okay.
She still has her mom. Her mom's sick, but she still has her mom. And she also has a book, right? The book is called A Memoir of Jay-Z's Secret Daughter.
Well, he should have took the test.
Right?
Not her child.
I'll say this, and
you're biased though, because you are a Beyonce fan. So you're biased.
She didn't even say anything yet.
I'm just saying, I know what you're about to say. I know what you're about to say.
I actually don't think you know what I'm about to say because it has nothing to do with Beyonce at all. And I am a Beyonce fan. I love her. I think she's an incredible musician. What I was going to say is that this story kind of fits into my life in a lot of ways because this is a situation we dealt with in our own family on my husband's side of the family. We had somebody who took an ancestry DNA test and the results came back that he was related to us, which was nothing to do with Beyonce, right? And he reached out and he was like, hey, I think you're my uncle. And then we were able to deduce that he was the son of my brother-in-law who passed away a couple of years ago. So For me, I'm going, well, I having been on the other side of things and seen how ancestry DNA kind of um, works, right? That I understand that there could be some real validity to this conversation. The one thing I will say though, I watched a little video and there's this mysterious HK that we're supposed to believe is Jay-Z. I didn't understand that element of it. I mean, it did not say Sean Carter. It did not say Jay-Z. It said HK, which means nothing to me. And I'm going to be honest with you. I've got some relatives that have a nose that look like they could be Jay-Z's kid too. So I don't know. I don't mean it in a bad way, but y'all know who I'm talking about. We have some family members that if they said, hey, I'm Jay-Z's daughter, you might look at them and say, hey, that could be. Now, because they said that she had that connection to that grandmother, that means that, yeah, it could really be a familial match, but that also doesn't mean that it's Jay-Z. It could be some cousin,
It
some
could be
uncle,
it could be his brother. Jay-Z has
his brother.
siblings. Jay-Z has siblings, and that's my thing. It's like Jay-Z has a brother who he shot, but the brother lived. But he talked about it in his album, so you got to go listen to the album. But I'm just saying, like, he has a brother. So, like, for you to just say, like, oh, it must be Jay-Z, which I get, I would do it too. I'd be like, yeah, it's Jay-Z, Denzel, Will Smith, it's all of them. Y'all, you know, like, but
I mean, they can just take the test and prove that it is or isn't his child. That's all they gotta do. Just take the test.
I'm here for the tea, so as much drama we can get out of it is good.
But do you guys think that she's just using this as, do you guys think that she's just using this as a way? I mean, I know she actually said that she was gonna be, she's trying to raise money to help her mom, right? She talked about how COVID was gonna affect people with multiple, well, they didn't know how it was gonna affect people with MS. And then she talked about, like, she even posted this thing saying, like, hey, this is what we need to help people with MS. We need wheelchairs, we need this, we need that. You know, so she was trying to get people to help, like, donate funds and donate things. But she was using Jay-Z's name kind of to, like, push her agenda. What do you guys think about that? Do you think she's right in doing this, or that she should have went about it another way?
Jay-Z would do a cease and desist or whatever it's called if she's using his name. Like, I'm sure he got his people, his lawyers and all that stuff ready to make her stop using his name. I mean, that she shouldn't be using his name. She has no proof that that's her father. That's why I say, take tests, go get the test, go swab your cheeks, do what you gotta do.
Okay, but let's talk about swabbing real quick, because it's COVID-19. Ain't nobody putting nothing nowhere up inside my mouth, nose, or nothing. I'm serious, y'all. Like, if I was Jay-Z, I'd be like, listen, sis, like, okay, you could just be my daughter, because I ain't getting no tests with no swabs going nowhere right now.
Obviously, she shouldn't be using his name to push her agenda. That doesn't help her situation. What she needs to be doing is pushing him for a DNA test. Not publicly, privately. I mean, I don't know. It's rich people problems. It's rich people problems.
Well, I mean, I don't know if it's necessarily rich people problems, because it's like, this is something that goes on all over the place. I mean, like, you know, there's,
yeah, but not publicly.
Not public. Well, I mean, actually, to people's public, especially because the way she did it was through social media, and people go on social media and call people out all the time. Like, you know, you my baby daddy, you know. I mean, come on. Do I have to say Maury again? So while I'm saying that, let me read you guys what Letitia's aunt Terry actually posted on Facebook. So Terry said, she came on Facebook and she said, I know the story from start to finish. I hooked your mother and father up years ago. Jay asked me who she was when I lived in 500 Side Greenwood Ave. We chilled in that apartment so many times. We laughed, drank, smoked, played cards, and some more. Lisa and I have talked about this for years. Shoot, I remember when Lisa came to my house on Bradley Ave in Cambridge, and Lisa and I called Rockefeller, and we was trying to contact Jay to tell him about Tisha, and the exact word from the man was, Do you know how many women call here daily and say that Jay-Z, they baby daddy? My hand to God. So, as Gloria Jean Turner would say, what's done in the dark will come to light one day. This is them days. So that was Terry. That's what Terry tweeted. And Terry is Letitia's aunt. So she's saying she was there. She knows. She actually even went so far as to say, like, they used to go to her apartment and hook up, and that Letitia was conceived in Terry's apartment back in the day. So I don't know how much more eyewitness story you could get from that.
Take the test.
Okay, so do you guys think that Jay-Z owes Letitia an explanation, or owes the world an explanation, or owes Beyonce an explanation about any of this stuff?
No, he don't owe anybody an explanation unless that's his child. He owes her an explanation. Anybody else, he don't owe nothing. Like, I don't care. I don't care. Rich people problems.
Okay, what about you? What about you, Cece?
You know, I agree. I don't think that Jay-Z owes the public any kind of explanation at all. It's nobody's business but their own. And I have to say, I mean, this was done so messily that I find it really, really hard to see this ending in any sort of really positive way, because now it is such a public spectacle. But, you know, you just read the quote, right? Like, we called up Rockefeller and they said, hey, do you know how often this happens? Every day someone's calling up here and saying that that's, you know, my baby. So here's the thing. Is he expected to take a DNA test on every child that says, you know, hey, I heard that you were my daddy too? And I'm not saying that he's not, because I don't know. And if we're being honest, I mean, we're talking 28 years ago. Of course, he had other women before he had Beyonce. This man is like 50 years old, right? So there's a good possibility that he could be the child's father. I just think that at the end of the day, you know, how you handle things matters so much. And so, yes, I understand maybe you didn't financially have the money to get a lawyer, to petition for a paternity test, or whatever those things were. But I just want to say, this girl did have a father figure in her life who loved on her and loved her. And so, you know, she's blessed in that way. A lot of people who don't know who their fathers are don't have anybody in their lives. So, you know, at some point, I understand you get to a certain age and you're like, dude, I want to know where I come from. I want to understand my roots. I want to, you know what I mean? Like, that's a natural part of understanding your identity, right? That's a natural thing that people experience. And I think if you really want answers, there's probably better ways to go about handling it. I think the ancestry DNA thing was really cool. Like, could you have reached out to some of those second cousins that showed up and said, hey, I see that we're a match? I mean, I think that there's really interesting ways you could do this. I don't know if you guys remember, way back in the day, Oprah had a sister that she found out about, that she didn't know about. It was on her Oprah show. And the reason that Oprah put it on her show was because she's so impressed with how privately the situation was handled. It was all handled, you know, behind closed doors. She'd reached out to family. Years went by, people weren't responding. Finally, someone responds. She gets connected. It is her sister, and it was this beautiful thing. And I wonder if before getting on social media, she actually took the time to say, hey, I see that you're my second cousin. Hey, I see that you're a fifth cousin. Hey, I see that we're on the same family tree, to kind of see how you could get connected before very publicly writing a memoir. And I understand she's probably angry, right? She's angry. There's this man. Yeah, I get that. And hurt people. And what she's doing now is a very, you know, good example of that.
Right. Shanika?
Wow, well, you guys summed it up really good. No, really, I did. But I feel like, okay, so with the whole Oprah thing, that was a different day and age. People are different now. Social media is the way to do it if you want, like, more. I mean, it's not the way to do it, but yeah, if you want the attention.
It's attention.
But we're talking about Oprah too, right? Like, you could have went to the tabloids and sold the story. I'm Oprah's secret sister. I mean, she could have that would have been the version of that back in the day, and it would have totally worked, but she chose to go another route and she had a good solution. This woman has made a decision to go in a very public way via social media, and it has the capacity to make it end in a negative result. So that's all I'm saying.
Yeah, I mean, I think that anyone who knows Jay-Z and Beyonce, before Jay-Z, before maybe he would have done, been public and done stuff and didn't, and whatever, he'd probably be wilding on social media and everything right now. But Beyonce is very private. So you already know Beyonce was like, listen, Jay. Okay. And then probably said H-Town after, like that was the conversation. Okay.
Maybe.
She's like, don't say anything. We're gonna let our lawyers handle it. Like, we'll put it in a song. We'll say sometimes y'all know go down when it's $1 billion on the elevator. And the next thing, and that's just what's gonna be. Like,
I was just about to say that.
What's that?
I was just about to say that. I was just about to say that's probably the reason why they had that fight. Him and Solange had that fight in the elevator. Maybe she was trying to do it privately. I'm just saying, you never know.
Well, that was years ago though, and she said she waited far too long. So I don't know if she did say. We don't know how long
could have been. Her mom could have been telling her the story about Jay-Z being her dad for years.
Yeah, but
she did. And that's one of the things that they said. They said the whole neighborhood understands, the whole neighborhood knows. This was only a secret to people outside of this town in Maryland, right? Everybody else seemed to know that this was the situation that happened, right? So she spent her whole life believing that this man was her father and he wasn't, reaching out to her or accepting her. So I understand why she would be upset. Like, that totally makes sense to me. I just think that we all have ownership of the choices that we make, and she's going to have to own hers at the end of the day. And it might result in her not getting what she wants.
Exactly. But I also have heard, and I actually heard this, I think it was over the summer 2019, or maybe, whatever. But I also heard that, Jay-Z has tons of allegedly has tons of kids. Okay.
One into that.
Exactly. And this was our own cousin, we was having a whole debate and conversation about, whether Jay-Z had a lot of kids and not had more kids than what he was telling. And our cousin was very adamant that no, he has kids. He has had them sign silence orders and paid them off to he's paying into accounts. And listen, if he got the money to pay into these accounts and to take care of those kids in that way, let him do that. Like, that's his business. Like, it's not for the whole world to know or see or care about, quite frankly. Like, that's your family, that's your life. And like, we got lives that we need to tend to. So like make sure you taking care of your own kids, because half of y'all got kids up in the house that you don't even know. Listen. Okay, future. All right. Anyways, I'm just saying, like.
Right, and I see the train of thought that you're going there, and let's be honest, like, just because someone is a celebrity doesn't mean that they're going to somehow be a magical, fantastic, amazing father to everyone. I'm not saying that he's not, right? Let me just be very clear. But celebrity status, success, money has nothing to do with child rearing, right? And so this idea that just because he's this public figure that he would somehow magically step up in ways that plenty of men aren't is baffling to me. He's still just a human.
He is. And also, that reminds me, like, Dean Grazioso, we were part of his Start Over Challenge recently. And he talked about, in the last video that he just did, he talked about how one of the things he was grateful for with this whole thing going on, this whole pandemic going on, was that he got a chance to spend more time at home with his family than ever before in the last 25 years. And, he spent 2 months at home now. And he's like, he has a 13-year-old daughter. And he's like, I didn't realize how out of the picture I was for her. And, so I'm basically, what I'm saying that to say is that, she might think that, oh my God, I would have had this grand, fabulous life. But I had this father figure that was missing. But who's to say that she wouldn't have had the same missing feeling, because her father would have been on tour, especially during the 90s and the 2000s, when Jay-Z was on and popping before he retired and all of that. Like, he was doing tours like crazy. He was out of the city, out of the country, out of the state. What makes you think that just because he has money that means he was going to be able to be there? Not saying that he wasn't going to take care of you financially, but that he was going to be able to be there to serve you in your heart. You know what I mean? Like,
Totally. And the thing about that, it takes us full circle right back to Future, right? That's literally what he said. I've got all these kids, I've got all these food spread around, and I can't possibly be there for them the way that they would necessarily want me to be there for them, because I am a celebrity, because my job does require me to travel and not be around. And so, yeah, Russell's calling him daddy, and that's because that's the dynamic that he has with him. Same with this situation. This girl apparently had a father figure in his life who stepped up and said, you know what, your dad's not around, but I'm here for you and I love you. And that's something that she might not have had. So, I mean, you can't rewrite history. We don't know what would have happened if things happened this way or things happened that way. But at the end of the day, these are the cards that you were dealt. And it's up to you to use them effectively. And I just honestly think that this was a missed opportunity.
I think it was an ineffective way to try to reach out to Jay-Z and Beyonce. Like, sis, everybody knows they are not talking to nobody. No, anything you putting out there on the social media, they just going like, okay. Miss Tina is so open. Like, I don't, like, she should have wrote Miss Tina a nice letter and said, hey, like, is there any way that you,
I struggle with this.
Family, maybe a second or third cousin would have been good too, but I don't know their names, so I'm just saying.
Right, and that's the thing.
It's real nice, and she would have responded. Like, she might not have told Jay and Beyonce. She probably would have hid that letter, but at least you wouldn't be out here looking crazy.
I just want to say this, like, at the end of the day, and I know that a lot of people have turned it into this, and you might not agree because, as Shelly Shell said, I am biased, but this is not a Beyonce story. Like, this child, hold on, let me finish my sentence, right? This child was born when Beyonce was a child, right? And so this is not about Jay-Z cheating on Beyonce. I mean, I've seen lots of interesting headlines and blogs and all of these really strange things where this is somehow about Beyonce and this is about Beyonce's image, this is about all these things. Jay-Z has a pattern in his history, at least publicly, where it looks like he may have multiple children that he does not take care of. That is all about him and the way he decided to show up as a father. Now, they are a family unit now, and any decisions they make moving forward are family decisions. But at the end of the day, if he feels like he's got kids out there, that's on him. Like, you have to stand up and make that decision.
But I'm not saying to reach out to Miss Tina to, like, I'm not saying nothing like that. I'm saying if you want to do something and you want to reach one of them that's like up in that you feel is gonna be able to listen, because what she wanted was their attention. Because we don't know, maybe she wrote letters, maybe she reached out to him, maybe she called him, I don't know. But I'm saying, like, okay, well, maybe you need to, like you said, go to another family member. Well, Miss Tina has her show on Instagram and she does all this stuff and she responds to her DMs and she's very loving and open. And so I said, well, hey, why don't you go to someone that you know is loving and open, that's close to him, that can pass the message on to him without it being all public and kind of, for lack of a better terms, kind of gross the way that it was done. Like, it's just like, hey, everybody pay attention to me. And like, I just think that there was another way that she could have done it. Like, she didn't have to do it out to hundreds of thousands of people. She could have done it in a private DM to somebody. That's all I'm saying.
I agree with that part.
But I'm not saying that this is Beyonce was like 10 or not even. She was like 8 when this all happened. Like, they're like 20 years apart in age. Like, nobody, like, I'm not saying like this is a Jay-Z and Beyonce issue, although she does have to decide if this is his daughter, whether she gonna let her call her mommy. It's a conversation that was a part of what we were talking about. I'm just saying.
The more we talk about this, the more it sounds like it's for clout.
What?
The more we talk about it, the more it sounds like she's doing it for clout.
Word.
I'm just saying, and the whole Miss Tina thing, like when you do ancestry DNA, you literally have a list of humans that you're connected to. Going to his wife's side of the family is a bizarre connection. I get why you say that, but it's a bizarre way to go about it. If it were me and
But
I was in those shoes,
with you. Now they didn't come to you, but you ended up being a part of that bridge that was able to bring your new nephew into the family. So like I wouldn't discount it and say like, oh no, like you shouldn't go to her. Like you gotta go to what you think would make the most sense. Like maybe she tried all those other people. Who knows? Maybe they were like, don't come at us like that. You know, Jay-Z probably told his people like, listen, if anybody come to you, listen, don't be letting them know all of that. You know, that's how I think Jay-Z talked. Anyways, guys, okay. Well, this conversation has gone way too long. We need to go because Sister Chat is basically over. But if you guys want to carry on the conversation, please make sure that you subscribe to the sisterhood. So press the subscribe button. Write in the comments what your thoughts are. Let us know. We might have to do a part 2 to this because this is still all unraveling and unfolding. So only time will tell. Maybe Jay-Z will take the test. We don't know, but we shall see. Anything else that my sisters want to say before I let us go?
One thing. If Jay-Z was my father and he wanted to send me money and not be in my life, I would be cool with that. That's it.
All right, so Jay-Z, Future, you guys have your working orders? You have your marching orders? Go ahead and get that. Yeah, this has been really fun. It's been a very fun and interesting conversation. I hope that you all have a very safe Memorial Day weekend. Please be careful out there. It's been real. It's been another episode of What's That?
Sister Chat.
Chat. Exactly. And we'll see you guys soon. Peace and love.